who is Nils? What's CRO? So this is your own business, right? And you're 24. Fantastic. When did you first realize you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Welcome to the JOD Pod, a micro podcast where we interview CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, authors, and coaches. Today we are joined by Nils Koppelmann, the founder of 3Tech. Great to have you with us today, Nils.
Thanks for the invitation. I'm honored.
So for those of us who don't know who you are, who is Nils?
Yeah, so my name is Nils, as you already mentioned. I'm 24 years old. I'm running a CRO agency out of the heart of Berlin. And we focus on optimizing e-commerce shops for conversion rate and bringing up the revenue for those kind of companies and just trying to assist them in any way possible.
Awesome. What's CRO?
So CRO is conversion rate optimization, and conversion rate is like the rate between the amount of customers that actually buy from your website. And the higher this number is, and obviously the more revenue you're going to make. And we're trying to help our clients optimize for this metric.
So this is your own business, and you're 24.
Yes, this is my own business.
Fantastic. When did you first realize you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
That was fairly early. I think I started my first business, but which back in the time was just done for you IT business that was doing I was 17, 18 years old. But I started a couple of years before that, probably like 5 years when I was 13. I was working for a farm, and they were upgrading their entire business, like building restaurants and stuff. And I was building their website, and with that, I earned my first MacBook, and that was kind of like the starting point of me actually taking things serious and starting out.
And that was your first customer, was it?
That was basically my first customer. Yeah.
And how did you find them?
You'd be laughing, but it was actually my neighbor who asked me if I could help him. And then, he introduced me to them, and we were working on this project together. It was very coincidental. But
you must have been putting out some good signals so that they recognized you as someone, as a 13-year-old who could help them.
Apparently I was, yeah. And I mean, the results were speaking for themselves, I guess, back in the time. Obviously different than what we deliver today, but it was fun. I learned a lot in the process. And
awesome. And how do you find your customers now?
Actually, we still get a lot from recommendations from previous clients, previous customers, but also just from having conversations with people in the industry. And a fair bit now also comes from LinkedIn, which I'm very happy about.
LinkedIn is a hidden treasure trove. I'm still surprised how few people use it properly. Yeah,
dude, just in the last 1.5 years alone, I actually started using LinkedIn on and off, to be honest. But it was, I thought LinkedIn was just like some random business network. But now, over the last year, I can really see how a lot of people are putting more content, more valuable content, not just to post something, but to actually provide content and value. And I've gained a lot of value from other people, and now taking this as an opportunity to also, in a way, give back and use it as a channel to attract my customers. LinkedIn's impressive, particularly for the B2B play. What are you? So with the 3Tech, what are you working on now? What's the kind of solution that you're offering? Yeah. So with 3Tech, initially we started out as a we do all web agency, and over the last 1.5 years, we slowly but surely transitioned over to CRO only agency. And so with every project, with every client that we take on, I'm trying to improve our process, get the best results for those clients. So we're currently in the process of hiring new people, mainly developers as well, that can help us, just get the workload going. And so working on the business and making it very stable and also obviously growing.
So who's your ideal customer at the moment?
So ideal customer, also that shifted in the last year, but right now we're mainly focusing on e-commerce businesses that already have an e-commerce solution, let that be Shopify or Shopware. I'm pretty happy with Shopify because it's easy to use and very, very adaptable, but also we have some Shopware clients. And mainly it's direct-to-consumer brands that we work with. And yeah, the only thing for us that's important, that the product is really good, because without that, you're not going to attract any clients in most cases, and that you already have your business going. If that's the case, there's a couple services that we offer, or constellations of services. Either we do a done for you service where it's mainly end to end, or we do it in a coaching kind of sense where we offer the done with you service, basically, like helping you establish conversion optimization process in your company, and also this experimentation mindset that we try to implement in companies, which is very, very helpful, not only on the e-commerce side of things, but also in a company culture sense.
So if I may, I've got a Shopify store. I'm doing e-commerce. My business is already running, so I'm making some money. What's the big pain that I'm feeling now that I would come to you with, that would make it a no-brainer for me to work with Nils?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I don't know the exact pain that you're having, but most customers that come to us, they're saying things like, "Hey, we're making good sales, but for example, in one specific funnel step, for example, from we get a lot of customers on our site. That's cool. Some buy, some don't. So sometimes they want to optimize the add to cart rate, for example, because they see, okay, this is an actual problem." Others come to us with just being unhappy with how things are going. Like they don't even know what really doesn't work, or even what's working and what doesn't. So sometimes the first step for us is to help them identify the actual problems, the things that work, and then using that information about their clients, their online shop to then optimize based on that. And yeah, so for them, we're basically doing the entire done for you service.
That's fantastic. And I'm guessing because of the way that lockdown has impacted so many entrepreneurs over the last 24 months, there's going to be lots of people that are starting out on their Shopify journey and are probably built up to a certain level, and then contacting you is probably a really good way of then taking things up a level and turning it into a proper business.
For sure. I mean, in the last, especially 1.5 years, we really saw an incline in especially that need, because before we were mainly offering relaunches for our clients. Like people were coming to us with the same problems, but we were offering a solution that was mainly blindsided. So we told them, hey, let's do a relaunch, and that's mainly also what they wanted, because they thought that's the approach. And we were also sometimes convinced that it was the best way, but now we're like, hey, why don't we just take what you already have and improve upon that? That not only saves money for clients, because that's currently very important. You can't always just be spending tens of thousands of euros just to then realize, oh, we did a mistake here. So being effective about the financial side of things is also very important to us. So that's why we are offering now this iterative process.
And one thing I've got to say is, Nils, you're really good at asking questions, looking at a website, asking questions, and figuring, being very insightful with those questions as well. You certainly helped with some of the work that we were doing on 1 hour content there. So thank you. I appreciate that. Are you ready for some quick fire questions, Nils?
Fire at it. Go ahead.
Okay. What's your favorite app or SaaS product that you use every day, like Notion, Trello, or Canva?
I'm gonna shoot two at you, actually. So one is Airtable, that we use for, it's like basically a database that we use to document our research findings, and that helps us in our entire CRO process. And the other one that I would say especially in the last couple of weeks, really helped me in my day-to-day is Todoist. Before we were using Asana, and we still are for project management, but just having a very simple to-do list app that helps me get the day-to-day things checked off.
there's something to be said for having that simple to-do list rather than a all-encompassing project management solution if you just want to get stuff done. And Todoist is a good one. That's really interesting. What's your most recommended book?
Most recommended book, I would say, is Psy-Conversion. I think currently it's only available in German, but that might change in the future. So it's Psy-Conversion is basically psychology and conversion. So that's what it means. And it's like, I use it as a practical handbook to assist me in leveraging customer behavior with actionable insights and using that to increase conversion rate on our customers' stores.
That's so cool. Man, you should get in contact with them, see if you can get a UK, an English translation sponsored, or see if you can buy the rights to it.
I actually never thought about that.
Go do it, Nils. Go do it. Who's your favourite YouTuber or podcaster at the moment?
So I'm not really consuming that much recently, but one person that's always stood out to me is from a couple of years back, especially that Casey Neistat. Probably heard of him.
Yeah, I might have heard of Casey. Yeah. Why do you like Casey so much?
And it's like literally there was one video that I saw, could be 10 years back, I don't know, but it was that one studio tour that he did of his amazing New York City studio. And I don't know, from that onward, I was just inspired by a lot of things he did, and because they were what I thought was abnormal, but they were so crazy and cool, and I just loved it as a source of inspiration, and just a cool guy, I guess.
Yeah, he's got a lot to answer for, that Casey Neistat.
Yeah, but there is a second, actually, because first was YouTuber, but I'll also go for the podcaster that I only recently discovered, like a couple months ago, is the Huberman podcast. He's a scientist and he discusses neuroscience, super interesting, but also in a way that's very easy to understand and digest for people without this specifically scientific background in neuroscience. So super interesting for sure. Can highly recommend.
That's fantastic. Great recommendation. Who do you think is going to be the next Elon Musk or Denise Coates, the CEO of Bet365?
I'm not sure. I really have no idea about
It's a gamble. It's a gamble. You're not supposed to know the answer. Like, if you knew the answer, you just give them all your money.
Obviously, I guess every entrepreneur is like, I hope it's going to be.
Great answer.
I don't like to gamble, so I don't really have an answer for that.
I think your answer is that you want to gamble on you. That's fantastic. I like it.
I prefer the data-driven approach. If that
so looking at the data,
it,
would you invest in you?
Dude, like that's what I'm doing every single day. Maybe not with the capital of Elon Musk, but for sure with what I have at my hands. And I think investing in yourself is one of the most important things you can do, and that does not have to be financial investments, but also just gaining knowledge, gaining experience and insights, and also making friends. That's why I'm very, very glad we're talking.
You're a superstar, Nils. Thanks, man. So where's the best place for people to find you online, Nils?
So I mentioned LinkedIn earlier, and especially if you're just reaching out or interested in CRO topics, just check out my LinkedIn profile, connect with me, and maybe send a message that you're coming through the JOD podcast so I can give you some feedback and crunch those numbers. And then let's see from there, and check out the content that I'm currently posting, also video form.
Awesome. Thanks, Nils. There we have it. Nils is the founder of 3Tech, an agency specializing in e-commerce conversion rate optimization. He managed to get his first customer by living next door to a farm as a 13-year-old and helping build their website. Nils' favorite app is Airtable, which he uses currently to document the research he's doing in his company. And recently he started using Todoist to work through his projects and daily to-do lists. His most recommended book is Psy-Conversion, which is brilliant for my audience because it's currently only available in German. But as soon as it comes out in English format, I'm sure my listeners would be really interested in that. It sounds like a fantastic book. He loves watching Casey Neistat on YouTube and listening to the Huberman podcast. he thinks we should be keeping an eye on Nils Koppelmann. He is investing in himself every single day in his startup, and I'm looking forward to see where this guy goes. And you can find out more about Nils and 3Tech by heading to LinkedIn, sending Nils a connection request. We'll put his URL in the show notes as well, so people can head straight to your profile, which I know is optimized up to the eyeballs, and send a connection request. Nils, thanks for joining us today on the JOD Pod.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very glad to be here.
Awesome. And thank you for joining us today on the JOD Pod for today's interview with Nils. To ensure you don't miss out any of these future episodes and interviews, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, bang the bell, and if you have any questions for me or Nils, please leave them in the comments below. We're sure to get back to you on each and every single one of them. Hopefully you've been inspired by Nils today. Go build something and inspire the next generation. If you enjoyed this interview, why don't you check out some of these other interviews that we've done on the JOD Pod. More inspirational CEOs, coaches, entrepreneurs, founders, and authors. I'm sure there's something here that will inspire you to build something new.